Hi guys, so this video is going to be raw and unedited and straight to the point. So stick with me as we go along. Though during the editing, I'm just going to plug in some image evidence of what I'm talking about. All right. So we held this on 2 lives, but some people struggle to connect, and because of the love for the community, I still want to talk about it in this video, the 15 minutes strategy that is doing wonders right now. All right, so make sure you watch till the end and familiarize yourself with the rules. So before I jump in to the strategy itself and the rules, I would like to tell you exactly how I use market structure, though it's not going to be detailed, but I'm going to simplify it in a way that you can understand. All right. So in a bullish market structure, right, price is expected to create a high, a higher low, and then a higher high, right? And you don't want to buy at the high. That's not the right thing to do. So you want to anticipate a pullback. So for me, I usually have 2 buy areas. This will be my first buy area, and this will be my second buy area. So which means if price approaches my first buy area, I want to wait for my confirmation to buy and ride the market to the upside. All right. And if price fails to respect the first buy area, then I will look at the second buy area, see how price reacts there. If I get my bullish confirmation, I can still buy. All right. The same applies in the bearish trend. In the bearish trend, price is expected to create lows, lower highs, and new lower lows, right? Then in this case, when price pulls back, I am looking at this area as my first sell area for my, so which means I'm looking for a bearish confirmation. And then this area above here as my second sell area. That is if I fail to get a confirmation here. Sometimes you could get a confirmation at the first sell area, you sell and price hits your stop loss. That's fine, you know. So the second sell area is, I will still get in on the second sell area if price gets there. You get the point. To sell, look for your confirmation to sell to the downside, right? How about a change in trend? Now, the way I use change in trend is simple. Let's say price was initially bullish, creating higher highs and higher lows, right? And then comes to an area, created a higher low, probably something like an equal high, then goes on to create a new lower low. At this point, there's a change in market structure. So if price pulls back, this area will be my first sell area, and this area above is going to be my second sell area, right? So that I can now continue in the new trend. So I hope that is well understood. You can see from bullish to bearish, right? So now this is the rule behind the strategy. Now, another key part to understand about the strategy, let me put the rules here real quick so that we can just continue. So first of all, you want to plot a resistance, a support. Let me put it this way, a support slash resistance level on the 4-hour, daily, weekly, and monthly time frame, right? When you conduct your analysis, you would usually do this, right? So, yep, I know when you have these multiple zones, it may clog the other time frames, like the monthly zone. We can have a 4-hour zone within that. So know how to limit the monthly zone to the monthly zone. If you know how to, that's a different topic on its own. But you have all of these zones when you are conducting your top-down analysis, right? So you will do the same thing. You have your zones. Then if price comes into these zones, right? When price comes into these zones, you want to now switch to the 15 minutes time frame. All right. Let me put switch at the back here so that we understand. Switch to the 15 minutes time frame and wait for a change of structure to buy or sell. All right, this is pretty simple. So if price comes into your resistance level, let's say on the 4-hour time frame, you have a zone above, which is your resistance, and price is trading from below right, on the 4-hour time frame, creating higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows until it comes into this zone. Now, what you want to do when you switch down to the 15 minutes time frame is to now look for a change in market structure, something like a low, a lower high, and a lower low. So when this happens, you know that you're selling at your first sell area or your second sell area after you get your confirmation. So let's assume you sell at your first sell area. That would mean your stop loss will be right above this first sell area. What if you sell at the second sell area? Then your stop loss will be above the second sell area. And you know me, I love 2-to-1, so I'll go for 2-to-1. So now that we've familiarized ourselves with the strategy, let's go to the charts and then I'll show you. Let's start with the trade I'm currently on right now, which is on GBP JPY. So on GBP JPY, first of all, this huge zone in the middle here, this huge guy here, if we go to the weekly time frame, is a weekly resistance area. Remember the rules: 4-hour, daily, weekly, or monthly, right? So this is a weekly resistance area. So we want to sell at resistance, right? So if we go back to the 4-hour time frame, we can notice that price was creating, right? Price created a low, a lower high, equal low, equal high, then a new lower low, right? So when price pulls back into the first sell area or the second sell area, we want to take action, because if price pulls back on the 4-hour time frame, we are pulling back. That area is pulling back into is an area of resistance. So on this 4-hour time frame, when price was pulling back into these areas, it is an area of resistance. So what do? We now want to go to the 15 minutes time frame. I want to show you how I got into the trade now. So on the 15 minutes time frame, you can see how price pulled back into our area. We already identified that area on the 4-hour time frame. We already identified that area on the 4-hour time frame, right? See how price pulled back into there. So what are we waiting to see? This is the first time price pulled back into that area. As you can see, on the pullback, price was creating highs, higher lows, higher high. Then we had this new lower low. Now price didn't pull back into our first sell area or the second sell area. It happened around the middle. So no trade. So from there, price continued and it created a new higher high on this same 15 minutes time frame. Now we want to sell because we want to sell at a resistance, right? So price now went on, created a higher low, lower high, higher low. The trend has not changed. Higher high, then a lower low, right? This is the new lower low. Now we want to see price pull back into our first sell area or the second sell area. As you can see, now price pulled back into the first sell area, and that was where I pulled the trigger, right? I pull my stop loss above here, as you can see, and my TP is right here. So if I put my mouse there, you see 2-to-1. This is the trade on your screen. That's the result of the trade. It's still running, so I'll be watching it. But I expect it to hit TP. When it hits TP, I will let you know in the comment section. All right, so if so far I am making sense, you're understanding, please leave me a like and send a love in the comment section. All right, because if you like to see these types of videos quite often, then encourage me to do so, right? Send more likes, give me the likes, give me the comments in the comment section, share this video, and let me know we are all following. All right, so that said, let's look at the previous trades, because I need to show you how I got into all these trades, right? So this is the live one. Let's go to the one I took a loss on this same GBP JPY. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. So that happened a few days ago. I've been sending the screenshot on the general Telegram group, right? So at the time, price broke above this weekly resistance. So I thought, hey, price will most likely continue trading to the upside. All right. So when price broke above that zone and is now coming back for the retest, then I wanted to use the weekly zone. Remember, I showed you this weekly zone earlier. I wanted to use the weekly zone. I wanted to use the weekly zone as an area of support to buy to the upside. That was the plan. So that was why after the breakout, when price was pulling back, I say, hey, let me catch this on the pullback, right? So I went to the 15 minutes time frame. Actually, I should have gotten money out of it, but I came late to the party. All right. So what I mean, or what I meant was this: the moment price broke out of that zone, right? Now I switched to the 15 minutes time frame. So I started seeing this structural movements: higher low, lower high, higher low, lower high, lower low. Remember, my bias is to buy. So I'm not interested in selling. So price went on to create a new higher high here. Or let me say equal high. Let's put it that way, equal high. So no trade yet. The same low, lower high, equal low. This is the moment price went on to give us that change in market structure. Now we are preparing to buy. We are beginning to see commitments in price. So at the pullback into the first buy area, remember this area now becomes our first buy area. Here becomes the second buy area, right? Look at this entry here. We would have gotten this trade. I would have gotten my 2-to-1 from here on this next week because my stop loss would have been below here. But I wasn't there. I came to the party late. So price still continued. So I would have gotten in here, stop loss below here, and I would have gotten my 2-to-1 here. But I came to the party late, but it was still active at the time. It was still active at the time. So price pulled back into here, and I felt like, all right, around here, I can still get in. So I probably moved slightly away from when I should get in. Probably I chased the trade and all of that, but you can see the loss here, right? Price topped me out, and that's this loss that you see on your screen. Then that same day, I took another trade on gold. Let's look at the gold trade together. All right. So on gold, I got in around here, of course, on the 15 minutes time frame. Now look at this. Price on the 4-hour time frame gave a low, a lower high, and a new lower low. So which means I was anticipating a pullback into the first sell area or the second sell area. So which means I'll use that sell area on this higher time frame as my area of resistance, right? So when price was approaching the first sell area, which is on the 4-hour time frame, which is an area of resistance on the 4-hour time frame, I switched to the 15 minutes time frame. All right. So remember that the price traded lower on the 4-hour time frame, then went to the first sell area on the 15 minutes time frame here. Now I want you to notice what happened, right? Notice how price, when it was pulling back, of course, we know where we want to start looking for these sells. So creating highs, higher lows, higher high, equal low, higher high, higher low. Then we came into our first sell area, right? So we want a change in market structure from bullish to bearish on this 15 minutes time frame. So we had equal low, slightly new higher high, right? Then look at the new lower low here, right? So remember, our first sell area will be here, second sell area will be up above here. So price didn't give an entry at this first sell area. Instead, it came to the second sell area, and I got in slightly late. I think I got in somewhere around here, but I still made my 2-to-1 before price took off again. Check out the dates. Go and compare with the videos I've been sharing on Telegram and what you have on your screen right now. So price took off and still gave another entry around that resistance, but that's a story for another day. I don't want this video to be too lengthy. All right. Now let's take one more example, and if you have any question, please leave it in the comment section down below. I'll be there to answer all your questions. All right, so let's take one more trade, the GBP USD trade I took last week. This trade you see on your screen here. So on GBP USD at the time, I didn't have these zones above that you see above here. All these ones were not there. So the price dropped into a support area, right? So which means I want to buy. So price dropped into a support area. Where did I even get in? It was, I think it was on the 16th. Let me check. Sorry, it was on the 18th, right? It was on the 18th. So anyways, so price dropped into that support area. I wanted to, I switched over to the 15 minutes time frame to look for a change in market structure, right? So when price pulled into that zone, I would have even caught this initial move, but I was busy. But I saw this one. Price was still in the support level when I saw this. So price was selling off, creating lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, lower low. Then we created a lower high. Then we had a higher low. Then price took off to create a new higher high. Where's my first buy area? My first buy area is around here. And that was where I got in my stop loss around here, just as you can see from the results on your screen. And I got in and price traded, hit my 2-to-1. This was a trade I missed out on that was yesterday. I was talking about this with the students of the mentorship. If you watched my analysis on the 4-hour time frame last week, you will notice that I had this zone and I was like, if price breaks out of that zone and comes back for a pullback, we can buy, right? And you can see price clearly bought. But when price was coming for that pullback, I was watching the trade. Let's go back to the 15 minutes time frame. I was watching the trade. Price came shy of that zone, but there was a change in market structure. You can see from here, price was creating lows, lower highs, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Then here we took off and we created a new higher high. So where's my first buy area? Here. Where's my second buy area? Here, right? So I was trying to shadow the trade, but I stepped out and price eventually came. So I missed out on this trade. And you can see tapped into the first buy area and took off from there. So you can see this is a golden strategy I'm giving out for free. Once again, if you enjoy what I've been saying so far, please share this video, drop a like and leave a comment, because I need to know that you're feeling me. All right, so this is where I'm going to be pulling the curtain. And for those, right, that wants to take their trading to the next level, visit letstrade10x.com. all right, visit letstrade10x.com and be a part of our next mentorship that is coming up on the 4th of next month. All right, we are kicking off on the 4th of next month, so you don't want to miss out on that. Do yourself a favor and grab any of our mentorship programs, because if I'm giving out this for free, imagine what you get in the mentorship. All right, so thanks for watching till the end, and apologies for the audios on the other video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like, share and comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.